Tuesday, August 1st, 6 a.m. So I am up early. I am going to try and record this one very quickly. So first things I want to point out is I'm going to try and include at least one video in the newsletter that is educational. And this one today is from
I will never
Trading
take
Lab
along
again.
in a downtrend.
And Trading Lab here, this is if your chart does this, buy. There's a couple of things that they do in this video, and I want to point out. Watch the video because it's about momentum trading, and it's about trying to find the trend and momentum. They use a 50-day EMA to determine trend, which I tend to do. If you look here on, and we'll go over to SPY. Look at this. The blue line on mine is a 50-day. It's a 50-day SMA. The red is a 200-day SMA. So those are good for trends. You can look at that. The second thing that I want to point out in this video is he uses on TradingView a pivot indicator. I don't think it's necessary. If you don't have TradingView, if you don't want to pay for TradingView, if you don't want to do that, pivot indicator, you can find it on TrendSpider if you have TrendSpider. But I don't think it's necessary to actually find the way that he's kind of describing it. I think it helps, but I don't think it's necessary. Now let's talk about SPY. SPY, we had the greatest July in NASDAQ since 1975. You had the greatest Dow since I think 1990 something. S&P, I mean, it was just a record-breaking a month. If you look at seasonality, and we're going to go back all the way to, let's say, 1993. Look at seasonality. August is 63%. So it's just a little bit better than July. That's in SPY. Let's go and look at QQQ because they tend to go in the same direction as far as seasonality goes. But if we go here, this is what I want to point out to you. We had such a good July. Again, this is 24 years. August dips. So you're down from 72 to 58. Be a little bit careful. Do I think you can probably put in TQQQ and play the month like we did in July? If we go to Seeking Alpha and we look at, let's look at QQQ. Well, let's look at TQQQ because that was the one at the beginning of July, if you remember. I said, hey, let's play this one for a month. And what if you did do it for 1 month? If we just look at it for 1 month, you're up 10%, 10.51%. I got in, I got my 10, 12%, whatever I got out of TQQQ for a week. You could have traded in and out of this one. I think it was a great, great trade. Do we do it for August? I don't know. I mean, look, TQQQ for 6 months, it's up 97%. I think you're in a bull market. I think you could chance it. I just don't want to tell you absolutely it's as good as July. So that's my overall look at those things. If we look SoFi, I said, hey, SoFi is going to be a good one. We gapped up. This one was up 20%. to 1149. Melissa on Facebook says she's going to hold it till 15. I don't think it's a bad play because if we look at this one from a long-term perspective, we're just kind of getting started to where we were. Remember, this was a $25 stock. $35 was the all-time high, I think. But I think that was a good one. I wrote down some other stocks that were way up yesterday. GOEV climbed 20%. Up to 64 cents. This is a EV play. I wouldn't suggest it if you want to trade it. I saw the gap up here at $1.10. I don't know that it's necessarily a good one, but they were up. Sherry's favorite, FUBO, was actually up 20% to $3.31. This was unbelievable right before earnings. Their earnings are coming up August 3rd. This one gapped up. I don't have news on it or anything, but one that I do own that gapped up as well, Palantir. Palantir, in my mind, this is a $20 stock. We had a cross up yesterday, $18.82. I think you're good for at least $20 in here. In pre-market, you're at $19.91. This one, if you look, I think you could go to 30. You could get back up here. Their earnings are coming out August 7th, so next week. But I saw that one really well, really well. Melissa asked about Hershey's. Is it time to get into Hershey's? Hershey's kind of been a bit of a falling knife over the past couple of months. It's still down in pre-market. I don't see any pre-market necessarily movement, but it's still down. I don't, on the 4 hour, it hasn't turned around. I don't think you could do a 4 hour on this one. On the 65 minute, let's take a look. 65 minute. Let's run the 65 minute on this one. Yeah, it's not in. I don't I don't think you get into this one. I just don't think there's a I mean, we can take a look at the long term on this one. I think this one ran up really, really well up to 276. It's just 231. My guess from a long term perspective, look, I mean, that was COVID. You got down to the 200-day down there at 115 in 2020. I just don't see a bottom to this one. And I think I would wait. I don't think Hershey's is a good bet on this one. Let's talk about some scans. NVIDIA, another cross up. I talked about it before. This one from a 4 hour standpoint, you can see that's the 370 line. That was the line that we were using as support. Hasn't even gotten down there. I bought more at 467. If you haven't subscribed to Savvy Trader, you don't know that. But TQQQ, this is another cross up. I mean, look at all the way back here. This was back in April 27th. That's when the last time on the 4 hour TQQQ had an actual cross up. All of these other ones have been secondary cross ups, meaning it hasn't gotten you out of this trade at $27. Could you've gotten in and out? Absolutely. But you're still in a bull market on that one. We've got one that I own that I think is an $85 stock based on that gap up there. PayPal, their earnings are coming out August 2nd. So tomorrow, PayPal. Devon posted earnings and it popped up. We're at $54. Remember I said to buy it under 50? Yeah, energy was the best performing sector in the month of July. Shopify, right before earnings. This one has a cross up right here, 67.47. I think you get it before earnings. Earnings are tomorrow, August 2nd. Shopify, Snowflake in our core portfolio, 177.71. I think it's a $180 stock. One of our ETFs, FBCG, this one's secondary cross up. Look way back here, April 28th, same as TQQQ. I mean, this is an ETF that could buy in at 25 and you're at 31. It's got the top, go and look at the holdings of FBCG. You'll find it pretty interesting. One that I bought on Friday and I told you guys to buy, their earnings are coming out today, probably in the next next hour or so. Uber, it's up in pre-market somewhere near about $50, $51, $52. But Uber, buy Uber. One that I bought, I'm still down on, but I'm big on, and I think it's going to turn around, is Netflix. Netflix is a great one. We'll remove all these annotations so you can see the chart. But you got a gap here between 451 and 470. It's going to cover that gap at 439. I'll be adding more to this one. I've added a little bit. LAC, which is Lithium America. This one has a cross up here at $20.17. Their earnings are later in the month. There's no real catalyst, just kind of a cross up. Two sectors, XLG, which is the Invesco top 50. This is XLG. This is the top 50 companies. If you want access to the grade 8 and you just want 50 companies, XLG is a great one. XLB, which is the material sector. I own Cleveland Cliffs. This one has a secondary cross up here at 85. A couple other ones, WBD, which is Warner Brothers. WBD right here has a cross up at 12.98 if you wanted to get in that one. BIIB, which is Biogen. This has been a falling knife, has a cross up here at 170. Does it have the opportunity? Do your research. I don't know much about it. I'm just going by charts on this one. Adobe. I like Adobe. Their AI autofill stuff. If you haven't Googled it, go onto YouTube and watch some people do it. It's amazing. So they're in the AI space. They don't have earnings coming up, but they crossed up there. You can see way back here, May 15th, cross up at 344. You're at 546 right now in Adobe. It's flying. Look at your fundamentals on FinViz. And finally, you can see the gap fill, Dollar Tree. This one down here at 132, when it turned around, it's got confirmation and it went to fill the gap. So just a quick podcast. I'll have the newsletter out in about an hour. I'll upload this to YouTube and to Spotify. So I am working at the NFL Hall of Fame. If you didn't know this week, the Hall of Fame game is on Thursday between the Jets and the Browns. I'm having fun. It's long days, but super, super people to work with. I'm overlooking a highway in a residence inn right now. But if you're going to the Hall of Fame games, you can kind of swing by. Just hit me up on the socials. We'll take a selfie together. I can't get you on the field or anything. But have fun. Enjoy. I will talk to you guys probably Thursday. Thursday I start late, so I can do the podcast probably live as well.